The situation in West Asia remains tense. It has been over 16 days since the fateful morning of 7th of October when the militant group Hamas attacked Israel. Following Hamas's attack, Israel, in retaliation, has carpeted Gaza. Israel is gearing up for a protracted multi-front conflict, even as it continues its crackdown on Hamas and its allies. The U.S. is pushing for a slowdown in the invasion on the Gaza Strip, but Israel seems to be prepared for the long haul. Within days of pledging rock-solid and unwavering support for Israel, Washington is pressing Israel to delay ground invasion of Gaza to allow negotiations for the release of American hostages and humanitarian aid to flow into the Gaza Strip. Following talks with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, U.S. President Joe Biden met leaders of France, Britain, Germany, Italy and Canada, who welcomed the release of 2 hostages by Hamas. Their joint statement called for the immediate release of all the hostages. The United States considers getting the release of hostages a top priority. It hopes that a delay in ground invasion will buy them time for hostage negotiations and allow more humanitarian aid to reach Palestinians in the sealed-off enclave. Hamas, on the other hand, has alleged that Israel is not serious about negotiating the release of the hostages. It even claimed that Israel had declined to receive 2 more hostages that they were willing to release on humanitarian grounds. Israel dismissed the Hamas statements as propaganda while holding firm on its resolve to launch the ground offensive. It went ahead with overnight strikes on Sunday that killed scores of Palestinians. The Palestinian Health Ministry reported 13 deaths in the Israeli raid. At least 81 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank since the conflict began. Israel claimed that dozens of Hamas terrorists have been killed in its overnight raids on the Gaza Strip. But the question which remains is, how long will the war between Israel and Hamas continue? According to Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, Israel's upcoming ground offensive in the Gaza Strip could last up to 3 months. But he stressed that it would be the last one and that Hamas will be wiped out. And as Israel continues its fight with the militant group Hamas, American officials say they hope the ground invasion will be delayed, but they are wary of playing into the narrative that Iran and its allies have long spread about the United States secretly controlling Israel. They further added that if there is an impression that Biden administration officials are the ones pulling the strings in Israel, it could drag America into a direct conflict with Iran or pro-Iran groups in our region. And for more insights, we earlier spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner, the international spokesperson for Israel Defense Forces, and this is what he had to say.
First of all, we will not bow down our heads to terrorism because we've seen what Hamas does with heads of babies, of children, of mothers, of fathers. They chop them off. That cannot be the new norm of terrorism in this region. We won't allow it to happen. We will not raise that white flag that some people are interested in us doing. And on the second question, I think we have been preparing. We have operational capabilities. We have broad intelligence. And again, the people of Israel are expecting us to protect them. When Hamas declared war on Israel on October 7th, they determined their destiny. They brutally massacred over 1,400 people. They abducted 222 people, and that number might even increase because there are still 100 people that are unaccounted for. I can say this, any Hamas terrorist that came into Israeli territory, we are hunting them down. Any Hamas terrorist that is directing this activity, this brutal terrorist attack against us, we are hunting them down. And I can say this, Yahya Sinwar, who is the mastermind of the massacre of Israelis in the south of Israel, we will hunt him down. This is an unacceptable reality, and we have no other choice but to protect our people.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.